What's up, everybody? Hope you're having a great day. Welcome back to another episode of the Bourbon Pour. I'm Jordan.
And I'm Brian.
And today we're talking about our 5 favorite bottles right now. So Brian and I both have come up with a list of bottles. We actually have one that's the same. I'll let you kick that off, Brian.
Yeah. So this is, it's kind of fun to do every now and then. Like, and it's honestly, it's something you probably even should think about yourself. That after maybe every 6 months, kind of look back and say, what am I hitting on now, and why am I hitting on that? Why did I go away from what I was drinking before?
Yeah.
So because sometimes your palate evolves.
Sure.
Sometimes things change, and you no longer like the sweetness that you liked before. Now you like the darkness of this, and so you just kind of either evolve or it just changes. So it's kind of neat to look at, and then so we were throwing around ideas for episodes, and thought, well, let's do this and see where we're at, and kind of. It was kind of intriguing. It was neat to see. So the first one we both agreed on. So the Wild Turkey, the 70th anniversary. This is just a phenomenal pour. $50 for the bottle. A little hard to find in some areas, but I just find myself. I'll be like, what should I drink? Oh yeah, let's go with that.
Yeah,
so
it's pretty good.
It's definitely better than the standard 101.
Yeah.
Then it's just standard 101 is pretty darn good.
Yeah.
But this is phenomenal.
Yeah.
So
you knew I wouldn't let a list happen without a Wild Turkey, right? So, all right. First, then for me, this is only a 375 actually, but this is the Maker's Mark 46 cask strength, and this one in particular is 110.3 proof. But I actually, oddly enough, had never had the cask strength before. Was traveling and found a gift set. It must have been left over for Christmas. It had this in a private selection barrel.
Yeah, I think
and
I
it was
saw that.
like super cheap, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna pick this up, and I was excited because I had never actually bought and man, that is really good stuff. Although kind of gotta go slow with it because it is only a 375.
Right.
Not too terribly hard of a bottle to find.
Yeah, good stuff. So, okay, well, my next one's kind of in that same proof range on the 101, but this is the Redwood Empire, the Pipe Dream 101. This one is the one we had in our event, and this actually was a leftover bottle, so I did not finish all that off, but I've got a couple bottles that I've went through on one that's almost done, and then this one, and it's so good, and it's just a good refreshing pour, and just one. Honestly, this one and the next one are probably the two that I go at the most.
Okay.
But I don't want them to go away.
Right.
I don't have backups on the second one. I have backup on this one, but not the other one.
Yeah. And this one, a lot of people I don't think realize this has 15-year-old whiskey in it. How much of it? That's a different question. But a really good bottle, $50. Can't go wrong with it. This next one, kind of the opposite. It's a little bit more expensive, and I haven't drank hardly any of it. But this is the King's Family Distillery 10-year, and we just actually put our review of this bottle out. We did that with an old Hamer 10, and this is just
good stuff.
Phenomenal. So I look forward to kind of exploring this more here over the next few weeks.
Right, definitely. So, okay, well, my next one is the Penelope Wheated. It's a 95 proofer, 4 grain. If you've not had this one, it's even less than these two. I think it's $36, and it is so good. Like I said, this is the one that right now, if you only gave me one bottle to sip on, I'd probably be picking this one. Yeah, because it is just good for anything you want it to be. You could just neat on the rocks. If you want it, I wouldn't mix that into a cocktail.
Too good for that.
But good stuff.
If you really wanted to, it wouldn't break the bank.
Right.
So yeah. Next one up this is actually a rye whiskey, and this is the A Overholt. I think this came out last year, and it's 95 proof Monongahela mash, which is Pennsylvania style. I think it's 80% rye, 20% barley, and this is really, really good. I think if you've followed the show really at all, when we talk about rye whiskey, you would know that Overholt's a really good brand that I like, and this one is really good. And this was affordable, just like $40, $45, something like that. So can't say enough about that.
Okay. Well, since you went rye, I'll go rye. So the new Riff Balboa rye. So this was one I went down and picked it up, and I'd never had it. I thought I'd missed it, but it actually didn't come out last year. They had this problem with the batch, and they didn't think it was good enough, so they went ahead and scrapped it, and then went with it came out this year. And the guy goes, "You better get 2 bottles." And I said, "I'll just stick with 1." And I got back home, and I was like, "Oh, I should have got 2 bottles." Because this one is really good. I actually poured a little bit, so I could have that here while we're sitting here talking. But just a banger from New Riff. And I think it's kind of more regional.
Yeah. I
don't think this one goes out a whole lot.
Sure.
But man, it's so good. If you're close to Cincinnati, Newport area, get over there and get a bottle of it when it comes out. I think it's their best offering that they have.
Yeah.
So.
Although, one quick point about New Riff: has anyone ever had a bottle of New Riff that they haven't liked?
I have not.
I've not tasted anything out of New Riff that I don't like. Now, I bet some of the single barrels probably can be.
Right, the one-offs, yeah, you might.
But by and large, pretty much everything I've had from New Riff, absolutely love. Last one up for me. We're big fans, and I really like this bourbon. This is Hard Truth's 4 grain, bottled in bond. I think this is actually my second bottle. When I do want something that's kind of different and kind of exploring the shelf, like you said, you like kind of look through. This one always catches my eye, like, oh yeah, I love this bottle, and we'll sneak a little sip. And I don't really replace bottles that often. This was released a year ago in February 2024. I've already drank through one and started this other one. So
we're big fans of Hard Truth.
Yeah,
They've got some good stuff. So my last one is off the bottom shelf, but it's on the top floor. So the Benchmark top floor, it's their 86 proof offering. I bought this maybe a month ago so we could do an episode on it. We did it in a blind, and it stood up well in the blind. And it's one that I just keep on. Like, this would be one like maybe I decide I want to have a midweek pour. Don't want to go into one of my higher dollar ones. This is $14.99.
Yeah.
And it drinks really good. It's just a good solid pour. I did drink this one down. I got within the last month. I put a hurt on that one. But it's good. It's affordable. And what more do you want in a bourbon?
Right. So. Yeah, made by Buffalo Trace, and some people maybe Benchmark isn't necessarily available in their state, or it's allocated. Or some people mark them up, but around here they sit around and they're cheap.
Right. Even the full proof you can get sometimes for $19.99,
which is
crazy.
125 proof whiskey for $19.99. All right, well, we want to know, what are your 5 go-to bottles right now? What are you enjoying right now? Let us know that in the comments below. What do you think of this list? I think this is a pretty darn good list, because most of these things, with the exception of this one, and maybe a little bit here, you can find these.
Right.
So that's what's cool.
Now, just looking at them, I wonder if maybe it's warming up here. I wonder if that has anything to do with what we're drinking, less higher proof.
Yeah, I was about to say there's only one cask strength.
Yeah,
and it's not even that high of a cask strength. Yeah, you kind of see.
Maybe that rolls into it, or is it? Yeah. So tell us what you're drinking. Tell us what you moved on. Well, maybe you're not drinking anymore. So yeah.
All right. Well, we're gonna close this episode the same way that we always do, and that is when you're with your family and your friends, always share your whiskey.